Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. So for today's episode, I want to talk about a video I saw on Twitter from Sacktown Sports 1140, and they were talking about a potential trade between the Miami Heat and the Sacramento Kings. So the Sacramento Kings currently are trying to pursue Jonathan Kuminga, who is playing with the Golden State Warriors. They want to do a sign-in trade. Kuminga doesn't want to be a third option, a second option. He said he wants to be a first option, which I think is pretty funny that I don't think he's done anything to warrant being a first option on any team at this point in his career. He's still young. He's shown flashes of potential, but he doesn't want to be a second or third option. So, he's open to going to the Sacramento Kings. They're trying to negotiate the sign and trade, but they're not able to do that. And in this video, this guy was saying that if Kuminga does go to the Sacramento Kings, then he believes there's a trade that will happen where DeMar DeRozan will get to go to a contender. And they talked about the Miami Heat. So let's play the clip so you guys can check that out for yourselves.
And I believe, now this is specifically me, I believe that there is a handshake agreement between DeMar DeRozan and the Sacramento Kings. That is my belief. If Jonathan Kuminga is acquired by the Sacramento Kings will get their butts in gear as far as getting DeMar DeRozan to another team. And what I mean by that is there are people in this space, the Danny Ainges, guys like that, they never want to lose a trade or the perception of losing a trade. And I know that we've brought up before the situation with the Miami Heat, right? And do you just take Terry Rozier 2 seconds and it's essentially a salary dump? Obviously, you're not getting a player back that's as good as DeMar DeRozan, but DeMar DeRozan gets to go to a contender. You're going to get money that's eventually going to come off the books if Terry Rozier even plays.
So he is proposing potentially that the Miami Heat offer Terry Rozier and 2 second-round picks for DeMar DeRozan. And in theory, yes, you say yes, you take that immediately. DeMar DeRozan is a much better player than Terry Rozier, even at age 35. Terry's only 30. Terry is coming off a horrible season. DeMar, age 35, Sacramento Kings, played 77 games, 22.2 points last season, 3.9 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 0.8 steals, shot 33% from three, which is not great, but 47.7% from the field, 86% from the free throw line. Like, he is a walking mid-range bucket. And the season before that, 24 points, 24.5 before that, 28 points before that. So he is someone who could score and is going to be consistent and reliable and healthy, like has played 76, 74, 79 games, 77 games the past 4 seasons. Terry Rozier, 64 games, shot 39% from the field, 29% from three, had 10.6 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 2.6 assists. So terrible. Terry at least is on an expiring contract, so the benefit to the Kings would be that Terry Rozier comes off the books for $25 million after the season. DeMar has $50 million left, so 24, 25 roughly over the next 2 seasons. So that's the issue with the Miami Heat. If you take on DeMar DeRozan, yes, you get the better player. Would he come off the bench? He would have to at this point. We got Norman Powell, who is still younger than DeMar, and I think better than DeMar theoretically all around. And he would have to come off the bench, but that would give this Miami Heat and infuse this team with more scoring, which is a good thing. But that takes away from our cap space in the future. So if next season we don't add other contracts and we let Terry Rozier's contract expire, Haywood Highsmith's and a few other players, Fontecchio, we can have close to like $60 million in cap space. Andrew Wiggins also has a player option. If he declines that, becomes a free agent, we have more space. And theoretically, we can get a Luka Doncic or whoever might be available, which I don't think those players will be available because not many people sign through free agency anymore. They usually sign extensions and then get traded. So that can derail our plan in 2026 to have cap space if we have DeMar, because then we have 25 more million on the books, so we have less cap space. So that's the trade-off. Do you want DeMar for cheap, essentially, because Terry Rozier is unplayable? You got those 2 second-round picks, which, you know, they're not the most valuable when it comes to trading for superstars, but they do have value when you want trades like this. Like when you want to get a Kevin Durant type player, who's still elite, obviously, but he's 37 years old. Like those second round draft picks helped the Rockets get a Kevin Durant theoretically. So they have some value, but DeMar can score. The Miami Heat have been terrible in terms of offensive rating, points per game for the past 3 to 5 years. And so adding someone like that off the bench for Terry Rozier on paper, it makes a lot of sense. But do you want to mess up your plan in 2026 to have that cap space? I say go for it. Fuck it. It's a gap year. Like the Heat never tank. They'll never say out loud that it's a gap year. They still think they can compete. Like if you think the East is that weak with DeMar DeRozan on this roster now, that can help us with scoring off the bench, because Jason Tatum and Dame and Halliburton and all these guys have torn their Achilles and they're out. So the East is definitely more open. So like, are the Heat going to say this is a gap year? Let's just develop the youth like they said they would. But then they bring in Norman Powell. So they're continuing this blended build of veterans and young guys. So what are we going to do? Like, who knows? But adding DeMar DeRozan would make this bench better. He would provide that scoring off the bench that would help this Miami Heat roster, but he would take away from the development of Jaime Jaquez, Pella Larson, and other wings off our bench. So what's the trade-off? Do you want to compete in a weak East, or do you want to develop the guys, kind of tank? And we don't get our pick anyway. I mean, we still owe our pick to the Hornets unless we become a lottery team. And I still think this Miami Heat team is good enough now that they added Norman Powell, got Davion Mitchell back. We have Tyler who could get better, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware who could step up in his second season. Like we're still going to be like an 8th seed, I think, in a weak East. Like maybe even better, honestly, if Andrew Wiggins plays well. So I don't know. I don't know what I would personally do, but if you do get DeMar DeRozan, then if he plays well, then next season he's an expiring contract. Then like we can also trade him. Then he might have some value still. He's someone who doesn't drink alcohol. He takes care of his body. Like he is a good player. Like he's not the best defender, but he used to be athletic and was average at least. So I say screw it. Like go for it, because I don't believe we're going to get any whales next season through free agency. So I think you do it to get rid of Terry and then bolster this offense, and then you deal with trading DeMar next season, perhaps. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do we go for this trade? Does it make sense to do it?